Well, for more on this, Latin America analyst Javier Farje joins us now from London. Great to have you back with us, Javier. We know that President Milei, who took office last December, inherited an economic crisis. He rolled out some tough measures, which some analysts have described as shock therapy. Let's take a look at one of the first things he did, and that was to drastically lower the value of the peso against the US dollar by more than 50%. Explain to us, why did he do that, and has that worked?
Because he wanted to achieve a realistic exchange, not to increase inflation. The problem with that is that in Argentina, people trade also with dollars. And there is called the dollar blue, which is the dollar which is traded in the black market, and the trade is much higher than the official dollar. So also although he's devalued the price of the peso, those people who still use dollars as a measure of the economy, the price of the dollar is still going up. So it's not really helping. Now, if you are going to let figures speak by themselves, the inflation has not gone down as much as he wanted it to go down. It is forecast that inflation for March will be 13.5%. It's slightly lower than the inflation in February, like 0.9%, but it's still high enough. Now, economists measure inflation not by month, but by accumulation. And in terms of accumulation, the inflation has gone really by more than 60% during the almost 4 months that Mr. Milei has been in power. Now, the problem we have at the moment is that he's not being able to reduce inflation. He's not being able to convince wholesalers and supermarkets to lower the inflation. There was a meeting between the government and these wholesalers earlier this year, asking them to keep their prices low, which is a bit ironic because Milei is supposed to be a champion of free market, and he shouldn't be put pressure on retailers to do that. But also, and this is extremely important, this has caused a slump in the industrial output of Argentina. In the last month, it lost 9%. There was a big slump in the construction sector. Therefore, the economy is not growing in Argentina at the moment. 9% is quite a lot in terms of the growth of the economy. The other problem is that the devaluation has meant that the consumer price index has gone up by 90%. That means that the purchase power of the population in terms of their capacity to buy food and all the things that they need has gone down dramatically. So we're talking about an increase in poverty. Yes, he has devalued the peso, but has not been able to shake the markets. It has not been able to reduce the inflation. Now, the forecast is that the inflation will go to single digits by May. You could say, yes, it's good news. Of course, it's good news. But if you put the accumulated inflation, as you mentioned at the beginning of this piece, of this segment, is still more than 200%. So far, the measures that he has taken have not worked the way they wanted. And this forecast, by the way, comes from a group of consultants, universities, and businesses which advise the central bank in terms of the way the market is operating. So far, the devaluation has not worked. It should have worked, but it hasn't worked.
Yes, and we'll have to wait and see if his tough austerity measures has an effect on inflation as well. Javier Farje, we'll leave it there for now. Thanks so much for joining us.
Pleasure.